India Gate, Kohinoor, Daawat and Hello. These are the four major players in the organized basmati rice industry in India, which is in the middle of a no-holds-barred war. It began with the popular rice brand Kohinoor accusing its peers of breaking the spirit of the law to gain an undue advantage under the newly rolled out goods and services tax regime. As you may remember, the GST notification issued on the 28th of June says that while unbranded rice would attract zero tax under GST, rice sold in unit containers or bearing registered brand names would be subject to 5% GST. Now, shortly thereafter, the government clarified that only those brands registered under the Trademarks Act of 1999 and listed with the Trademarks Registry would attract the tax. McCormick alleges that some brands are working to remove themselves from the registry to avoid paying the tax.
We have heard about this unfortunate situation wherein for short-term gains, few select brands, I would not like to make any special mention for any of those brands, we all are aware of whom we are talking about, have chosen to read the GST regulations a bit differently. And we have complete trust in GST governing body that they would be taking a note of such misinterpretation and very soon releasing appropriate clarification in this regard.
McCormick has also alleged that its three main rivals are avoiding the tax on the grounds that some of their brands are not in the registry at all. This allegation is echoed in the All India Rice Exporters Association's letter to the Finance Minister asking for an intervention to create a level playing field. It reads, unfortunately, biggest beneficiary will be companies with 2,000 crore rupees turnover, as their brands are not registered with Trademarks Act 1999 due to some legal and technical issues, unquote. This was seen as a thinly veiled jibe at KRBL, which owns rice brand India Gate. Not surprisingly, KRBL took exception to this letter. It hit back through an internal note which CNBC TV 18 has accessed. This note accuses the association of regressive thinking and adopting a poisonous attitude towards KRBL. KRBL also dismisses allegations that the company is trying to deregister its brand.
Being a member of this present association, the way they have presented the GST case, in particular related to India Gate and KRBL, was a matter of really sad. In domestic branding, we came in 1998. Immediately, we filed our application with the registrar to register the brand. Daawat Food is also not a registered brand. The two brands are registered. The 8 brands, according to them, are not registered. Nobody is writing about Daawat.
Beyond just the war of words, we must not, however, lose sight of the fact that premium basmati rice in India represents less than 1% of the total rice production in the country, even though in terms of value, it generates a turnover of nearly 7,000 crore rupees. But what this episode has essentially underscored is how complex it is to have one tax for the entire country. While the industry may be on the verge of disintegration, they surely would be hoping for some clarity when the GST Council meets on the 5th of August. In New Delhi, Ronojoy, Banerjee.